I just want to post a little, I guess like a video response, but I've been seeing this a lot on a lot of the people who put vocal band stuff on their sites. I see these comments all the time, and I just got to put my comment on there. Hopefully, it's to answer all these different ones I've seen about the Gaither vocal band over the years. Mainly what I've been seeing lately is people kind of bashing the new group. You know, yes, we know Guy and David and Mark and Bill were, in a lot of people's eyes, the best vocal band. Obviously, because David being, practically the best tenor in the world, it's kind of hard not, for that type of music, for that not to be one of the most popular groups. I mean, anyone who can sing like that, with that passion and the vocal and the power and everything, is going to affect anyone who listens to it. You look at people watching the video for, Oh Holy Night, or even some of David's solo stuff, but usually the ones, It Is Well With My Soul, stuff like that, where he belts it right out, and he's up there. I've shown that to people who are not religious in any way whatsoever, and they're just blown away by it. So obviously, if you are more religious, it's going to affect you a little more spiritual and whatnot. So I think that's why he comes off as, the most famous group out of the vocal band over the years. Before that, it probably would have been the Michael English, Terry Franklin, Mark Lowrey, and Bill Gaither. That was kind of like in its, it was new then, and they were the first to sound like that, really, I think. I mean, obviously they're not the originals by no means from way back with all the other groups that have ever been out, but, for a little more modern mainstream, they just seem to hit the note with everybody. Michael English, what can you say? I mean, the guy's voice is amazing. And, what is, I guess, my point that I'm getting at is, like, people are always wanting, to go back to the glory days. They want, the way it was, well, that's our whole life. Like, that's the story of everybody's life. We always want what we used to have, or, oh, wouldn't we all like to bring back our childhood and relive those days? And look at what was then with Michael English and what was then with Michael English and them back then was good for that time. The whole David Phelps thing and that, and no, that era, didn't have to end right there. They probably could have went a few more years, but when you get a talent like David Phelps, it's hard just to put him in a group. He tends, you would kind of get the impression that he would be more solo orientated. So it makes perfect sense for him to go out and try and capitalize on his talent. Now, he didn't run out to mainstream. He still does Christian music. That's what he does. But people are just sitting there bashing him because he went on a solo career. I mean, get over it, people. I mean, I don't know what you expect. You just expect everyone to hold their lives back for you to be happy listening to them do that music. Not everybody likes Southern gospel music. Yeah, it just seems to be sometimes the religious end of people tend to just think only their world exists. Well, there's other places to go. There's different types of Christian music and everything else. So for David to have to sit there and spend the rest of his career in Southern gospel is sad of you to assume that. He's got a life, a family, kids, all this to support and everything like that. And he's got his little dreams that he wants to accomplish. He did his thing with the Gaither vocal band. Let it go. If there ever does come a time 10 years from now and maybe his solo career isn't so great, and if the stars line up and all of a sudden Bill invites him back or whatever, and he comes back to the band, then so be it. Things may happen that way, but you can't repeat things that had their moment. Everything has a moment in time. Once that's done, you can't repeat it. They can go do those songs that they did back then 1,000 times over 10 years from now. It's never going to be the same as it was then. So were you people always wanting these glory days back of the way it was, the way it was? I wish, I wish they would get back together. You're just barking up the wrong tree. Let things go as they were. Every time they come out with a new Gaither vocal band, I like it. Whether I like one more than the other. I mean, I love the Michael English group. That to me was, I love Terry Franklin. I wish he would have stayed with them longer. That was a great voice. Probably still is. I haven't heard too much from him lately. I wish I knew what he was doing. If you know, text me in there and let me know what he's doing these days. But I know what Michael English is doing right now. A lot of times he's on tour with them and everything. But, everything has its moment. Like, everyone keeps bashing, oh, David grew his hair long, and, oh, blah. It's like, get over it. So he grows his hair long, loses some weight, and now people don't like him because he lost weight. And, oh, he sounds different. Well, he's not doing Southern gospel anymore, people. It's not the end of the world. Take for what it was that you liked back then. Enjoy it. You have the videos. They're there. They didn't disappear. You can listen to them whenever you want. If you don't want to listen to his new stuff, which is Christian, with a little more of an upbeat, modern sound to it, sorry, it's not Southern gospel, but, get over it. Don't listen to the new stuff if you don't like it, but you don't get to bash it neither. It's just like, you people are starting to stress me out. Sometimes I get an impression sometimes that this is why people have a problem sticking with Christians or whatever, because, sometimes they're so narrow-minded. And they got I seen one comment one day that, well, David grew his hair long and that's not right. It's not, God doesn't, condone long hair, something like that. Well, poor old guy Penrod, eh? I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to go straight down to the lowly lives of hell there in the end of her. But come on, you get over it. I don't know. Did Jesus have long hair? I could be crazy. Just let it go, people. Enjoy the new stuff. The new vocal band is absolutely amazing. Wes and what's he got now? He colored his hair. Now people are complaining about that. Mark Lowrey does it all the time. Lately, always changing his hair or whatever. But just let it go, people. The new band is wonderful. I'm sure they'll replace more members as time goes by because they may move on to different parts of their life too. And every time they change the band, it gives them a new, fresh sound, a different style of music, and it sounds good. Amazing. Wouldn't you hate it if everything was from the original Gaither vocal band way back when, just after the trio part, and everything was the same since then? You wouldn't have got David Phelps. Sorry, people. He wouldn't have come along. You wouldn't have got the Terry Franklins, and these people would have just drifted off. But change is good. This group is amazing. They may find another singer to replace one of the guys, Marshall or whoever, even though I think he's amazing. Let it go. Enjoy. Enjoy the new style. When the time comes that they replace another member, if they ever do, unless they end it all, you'd be amazed what could come out of it next year or the year after. Guy's the staple, and he works well with people, and he brings everything together. And he's a team player more that way. But he's just a different mentality than, say, David would be. Or Mark. Mark's an individual type person. He's his own bag of tricks. So basically my little comment was just for those people who for always bashing, the changes and this and that. Let it go, people. Move on. Stop hating. Enjoy what you're listening. Like the old stuff, listen to it. Another time, people. Bye-bye.